Okay folks, today we're laying the first track for the season and Max's very first track. So the first thing we're going to do, we got first of all our two tracking flags, one for the start, the send pad, and one to represent the end of the track. And we're working with hot dogs, and literally they're cut the size of a nickel. This is going to help promote deep nose tracking, nose to ground. So let's go out a little bit, and what we're going to do is we're going to figure out which way the wind's going. So I'm going to pick up a leaf, do that. So we look like we have a southwesterly wind. And what we're going to do is lay our track in the same direction as the wind. The reason being is we want deep nose. So if we track with the wind towards our back, such as this, what will happen is it'll cause this type of behavior, allowing the dog to keep his nose deep. If we were to track into the wind, he would lift his nose, which is what we don't want. I'm going to pick a reference point in the distance. I'm going to pick this big old pine tree in the distance. That's going to allow me to walk in a straight line. Remember, just like in our other tracking video, it's very important as a handler to walk in a straight line when you're laying the track. That way you're going to be able to assist the dog when you need to. I'm going to go forward a few steps, and then I'm going to place my tracking flag to the left of me, and then we're going to lay a scent pad. All right, so now we're going to trample down some grass. We're going to grab some hot dogs. So I usually grab about 4 or 5 pieces and put them in the scent pad, forming like a little square. Okay, so now what's going to happen is I'm going to take one step off the scent pad in line with the pine tree. Then from there we're going to place a piece of hot dog in the heel print of the footprint. Okay, so now I'm going to place my hot dog in the heel print. The reason why I put it in the heel print, so it's concealed by the tuft of grass. So the dog doesn't get a visual. He has to use his nose in order to find the hot dog. We look at the pine tree again, place another piece in the heel print. And every time I step, I'm looking at the pine tree. I'm not looking down and stepping. The reason being, if I was to do that, my track would eventually curve. This helps to keep you straight on the track. And I'm really stomping it in. What we're trying to do is bring up as much ground disturbance odor as possible, because that's going to be the signature odor for the dog. And the track itself is not going to be long, maybe about 10 to 15 steps. Go. And if you notice, my footsteps are fairly close together, heel to toe, heel to toe. And when I say heel to toe, not like I'm walking on a tightrope. They're going to be offset, but the distance is not too far. So it's not a regular stride. And this is, again, just to help the young dog. Later on, as an experienced dog, then we'll take a regular stride and we will not be stomping it in. Okay, I'm going to do one more stomp before I lay a bunch of bait at the very end of my track, which is going to be right here. So now at the very end, I'm going to place my other tracking flag to the left of me in the ground. This signals the end of the track. Do a little stomp, like a little mini scent pad. And then we're going to scatter like maybe 4 or 5 pieces of bait on that little scent pad as a big reward for the dog. There we go. Now from here I'm going to take 2 to 3 giant steps off the scent pad or off the track and come away from the track, so this way I don't contaminate my track. And we're going to bring out young Max. This is his very first track, so it's not going to look good, but again, it's just to show you the beginnings. Let's do it. We've got our tracking line, and even with a young dog such as Max, I start them right away on the official tracking lines, 33 feet, again, following the IGP regulations. And the reason why I'll start him right away on the tracking line is to get him used to the notion that this is what we're going to use when we track, and get him to understand. He's going to create an association between this line and the tracking exercise. There you go. And it's very important that when you're tracking your dog and you're bringing out your line, make sure that your line is already unraveled, it's not tangled up. It's the worst thing to put the dog on the line, then you're fighting to untangle it. You lose a lot of time, and it can create a lot of hecticness. We want everything to run smooth. So now we've got our line open up. Now we're going to bring out the beast. Okay, so now we're going to attach our line. And again, when we're working with dogs that have a lot of energy or a lot of drive, this is why we want to have that line already opened up. Now we're going to bring this young dog up to the track. And we're not going to really employ obedience. We're just going to control him physically, just like this. And we're going to allow for him to pull out. It's okay. We want that type of energy, that type of desire. Later on, as he gets older, we'll show you how to really calm him down when approaching the track. You can see he's got a lot of energy, so this should be interesting. All right. So now we're going to stop about a meter away from the track, just like in IGP. We're going to pass the line under his leg, his right leg. We're going to bring him up, and we're going to say to him, Sook, and point out the hot dogs. Good boy. And make sure that he gets every piece of hot dog on the scent pad. And you don't step in front of him. The dog has to lead you. Let him search. Good boy. Sook. Good boy. Sook. And you notice I stay just behind his right shoulder. Sook. When his head comes up, I just encourage him back down. Good boy, Sook. Good boy. Sook. And I'm staying very close to Max. This way I can guide him if I have to. So like I said, right behind that right shoulder. If he comes off, I just lock the line, Sook. And then let him search. Good boy. Sook. Now you notice I don't point at the hot dogs. I just point straight down and let him find the hot dog. And also, I don't overpraise. Some people will talk too much, they'll praise too much, and that becomes a distraction for the dog. Even me talking right now during the track can be a distraction. Sook. I block the line, don't let him go back. Sook. Good boy. Sook. Every time his head comes up, point down right away. We don't want that to become a habit. Good job. Lots of praise. Very good. There you have it. That was really good. Now you notice I didn't use a toy at the end of the track. I just had a little pile of food. I found in the past, sometimes with the toy, it creates way too much excitement when it concerns tracking. So if anything, we'll have, let's say, a little pile of food at the end, or eventually it'll just be one piece of bait at the end. And then from there, we'll graduate to an article at the end. And so this way, it helps to keep the drive levels to a minimal, because we don't want the dog too excited. Tracking should be a very calm, peaceful event. And when we're working with these working line dogs, they're the opposite. So it can be very challenging for the handlers. You have to exercise a lot of patience. And remember, Random training equals random results. I know some people will just let the dog cast about and find the food. The problem is we can create bad habits. So right from the get-go, we literally guide the dog until the habits are formed, and then we guide less. Good boy. There you have it. That was Max's very first track. Excellent work. I didn't have to help him much, and he was very motivated to find the food, which is great because with him, he's not really a food dog. So surprisingly, that was actually really, really good. That said, tracking is an exercise or a discipline that requires a lot of time in. So ideally, if you could, you would track every day. And the best time to track your dog is very early in the morning, when there's a little bit more in the way of moisture on the ground, due in part to dew. And it's usually a little bit quieter out, because I track in soccer fields, park situations. The odd time I'll go to a hydro field. But ideally, just for the conditions, it's cooler and there's more moisture on the ground, making it easier for the dog to follow the scent, because water helps to retain scent. And the tracks right now for a young dog like Max, not long, can be anywhere from 10 to 20 steps, more than enough. Now, in the way of the steps themselves, let me just show you again. Heel to toe, heel to toe. Notice when I dig in the heel, it leaves a little depression. That's where I would hide the bait, right inside there. So that little bit of tuft of grass would camouflage it. And then again, heel to toe. And you're not doing heel to toe like this. Just like this. Almost shoulder width, your regular stance. Also, I'm holding the line just behind his right shoulder. So this way, if he starts to what we call cast about, or he tries to cast, I can lock the line. I don't say anything, I just lock it. It'll stop the casting. If I have to, if his head comes up, I point straight down. Zug, which is German for track. He puts his nose down and he starts to work. I never point directly at the bait. This is an exercise in teaching the dog to use his nose, not his eyes. So I point to the ground, wait for him to lead me before I start to move. Remember, the dog moves before you. He takes a step forward, you take a step forward, staying behind that right shoulder. That's how we do it. And again, this is a beginner track. As we go along with Max, we're going to document his progress. I have a feeling with this guy, we're going to progress fairly quick. And I like to do a lot of tracking, so it should be interesting, especially when we get to articles later on. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If so, please don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. With that said, take care, guys.